Hey Hoopers, it's Deanne Love here, and this week I want to share with you a really special tutorial. In June, July of this year, 2015, I get to go to Sacred Circularity's Hoop Retreat and hang out with the beginner and new hoopers. Now this is something that I have been looking forward to for a long time, and if you happen to be one of those beginner hoopers going to Sacred Circularities in Bali, then please leave me a comment below and say hi. And if you're not yet going but you would really love to, then leave me a comment as well. You just never know what might happen. I could see you there. Now I get some questions from new hoopers asking me if they're good enough to go to Sacred Circularities or good enough to go to a hoop retreat. And the answer is, of course you're good enough. That's why we all go to these hoop retreats, because we want to learn something new. And speaking of learning something new, in this special tutorial, I am going to share with you 5 ways that you can use your hoop off your body and feel like a rock star, even if you're a brand new hooper. The first move that you can use with the hoop off your body to feel like a rock star, even if you're totally new to hooping, is weaving. And weaving is where we crisscross the hoop from one side or one plane to the other side or the other plane. And the hoop is on a vertical plane. That means that it's on the wall plane, and you're usually going to start with your hand with your palm facing up. You're going to lightly grip the hoop, and for a forwards weave you will lead with your pointer finger over to one side and over to the other. So you're making this kind of infinity or figure 8. You might like to think that you have parallel lines or train tracks either side of your body, and you are crossing the hoop on one side and then the other, keeping your shoulder and your elbow, your wrist and your hand fairly loose so that you can get this fluid movement. Now weaves are awesome because you can play with pace, so you can go slow and fast. They also give you an understanding of your left and right, which can sometimes be a little bit confusing when you're a new hooper because you will be dominating with one side of your body. But weaves encourage you, maybe even force you, to work on both sides of the body. Now once you feel confident with your first hand, you can start to bring in your second hand, but nothing changes with the movement. So this is the cool thing about weaves. They teach you to bring in both sides of the body. And then once you're feeling good, you can start to release your grip with your first hand and just continue the pattern, continue the momentum. Now the other cool thing about weaves is you can travel, meaning you can move and dance with your body. So instantly, even if you're totally beginning with hooping, you can start to dance with your hoop. You can move forwards and backwards, and you can shift your weight side to side. Another cool thing with weaves is the forwards weave is a launching pad or a starting movement for the backwards weave. So you can work on reverse directions, and you can also do right and left plane weave, or if you adjust your arm and have your elbow going out to the side, you can do front and back plane weave. The second off-body concept that you might like to play with as a beginner hooper is levels. So searching into the lows and the highs, the spaces that you can take your hoop. Often when we're beginning, we kind of start with the hoop either above the head or on the body. But with off-body movements and your hoop, you can start to pass your hoop around at waist height, maybe drop it low around hip or even knee height. You can take it up and go around the neck, and then reach into the sky and be above your head. And then to dance it up and to feel a little bit more like a rock star with your hoop, starting to feel a little bit more confident, you're going to play with a combo of those spaces or those levels. Above the head, around the neck, around the waist, low, high, and everywhere in between. The third way that you can start to feel more confident with your hoop as a total beginner hooper is to recognize the difference between spinning the hoop and stalling the hoop. So spinning the hoop is often when you are relatively still or you're turning a little bit out of time with the hoop. Stalling the hoop is when you and the hoop are completely in sync time-wise and you are turning as one. So here I'm spinning the hoop on my hand. I can also turn in both directions with the hoop still spinning on my hand, but we're kind of out of time. When I stall the hoop, I'm going to be turning exactly at the same time as the hoop. Now to do this, I turn in the same direction as my hoop and I look at the opposite inside point of my hoop. You want to start to slow down your hoop so that it's not super speedy, but not so that it's going to fall on your head. Turn in the same direction and look at the inside of your hoop. Once you start to feel confident with that, you can play with spinning and stalling, spinning and stalling. The fourth way that you can start to feel like a rock star while using your hoop off your body, even if you're a total beginner, is to play with flipping and folding your hoop. So that might be something like a flipping isolation where your hands are on the inside at the base and you fold the hoop forward and you fold the hoop forward using the right hand and then the left hand. Or you might play with flipping and folding your hoop in this front plane. You may even mess around with flipping and folding depending on the size of your hoop and how strong you're feeling in the side planes. Maybe flipping and folding as a transition from one plane to the other, or from spinning to still. And the fifth way to start feeling like a rock star with your hoop while you're using it off your body is to play with squeezing the hoop and releasing the hoop. So usually when your hand is in the open position, you'll be spinning or stalling. And when your hand is in the closed position on the inside of the hoop wrapped around your hoop, you will either be breaking or stopping the hoop, ready to send it in the opposite direction or to move into a different trick. So here are some ideas that you might like to play with simply by opening your hand and closing your hand over the hoop. You could start by spinning the hoop forwards or backwards with your hand open, and then squeeze the hoop and go into a weave. Your hand is squeezing or wrapping around the hoop, and when you're back on that first side, you can open your hand and you're back in the spin. So spin, squeeze, weave. Open the hand, ready for another spin. Another way that you can do that is the transition that we looked at in the folding and flipping, where your hand is open and the hoop is spinning above your head and you squeeze to fold in. Then you can replace the hand and have it open again. Another fun way to play with the squeeze and release is passing the hoop around the body and then taking the arm long out in front, squeezing the hoop without stopping. Open the hand, have the fingers facing down, and now you are spinning the hoop out in front of your body. Your hand is open, but when you squeeze it closed, then you can raise the hoop above your head. So your hand is now open. When you squeeze the hoop, you can take the hoop down in front, thumb, forefinger transition, open the fingers, open the hand and spin in front. Squeeze, raise, spin, squeeze, lower, spin. So I hope that those 5 ways to use your hoop off your body will help you to feel more confident and more like a rock star when you are beginning your hoop journey. If you love this video and it helped you, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up and totally subscribe to this YouTube channel because there are always new hoop goodies and hoopspiration coming your way. Oh, and I totally hope to see you at Sacred Circularities. Wouldn't that be magical? So magical. Head on over to hooplovers.tv so we can hang out there. Lots of hoop love from me to you.